What's up, everybody? The world is a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is Monday, October 14th, 2024. We're about to talk things all college football. We have 3 podcasts drop for you on this Monday morning, and that will include this Week 7 recap of the college football season, Week 6 of the NFL season, and Game 1 reaction, Mets and Dodgers. But this is all college football on this one. And before we get into all the fun, after another stellar week of college football, I want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter at ProdConvoPod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, this is sponsored by Magic Mind, our great friends at Magic Mind. Get your hands on Magic Mind to have a product that will enhance your stability, enhance your mental clarity, provide less stress, and create a better life for you. You take Magic Mind before your day begins, and you will see the intense improvements in your life. And to get Magic Mind, go to magicmind.com/PCMB and use discount code PCMB20 for 48% off your first subscription and 20% off your first one-time purchase. All right. All right. All right. All right. So college football on this portion, right? Week 7 of the college football season, officially at the halfway point of college football. And as we are seeing conference races being shapen, as we are seeing really who is the good teams and who are the bad teams, there's a lot of interesting things to uphold and talk about regarding the world of college football. As always, let's talk about the college football rankings that were released today. Released on Sunday, with Texas returning into the top spot after a big win with the return of Quinn Ewers. Oregon at number 2 after a big win over Ohio State. Penn State goes up a spot as well after their overtime victory over USC. And Ohio State goes down a couple of spots. They're down to 4. Georgia, Miami, and Alabama all stay at 1. Big jump from LSU after their big overtime victory over Ole Miss, which would then result in Ole Miss going down in the ratings. Now 9 spots down to 18th. Iowa State goes up some spots. Clemson with a big win over Wake Forest after a big blowout win. They are now 5-1 in the 10th spot. Tennessee goes down after ending their undefeated season, and Notre Dame actually goes down a spot despite their win last week. BYU, Texas A&M, Boise State, Indiana, and Kansas State all go up stiff a couple of spots each. Missouri goes up a couple of spots, including Pittsburgh. SMU with 4 spots in Illinois, with now Michigan staying at 24. But the big and exciting one is the addition of Army and Navy, both at 23 and 25 each. So as we go into week 8 with some things to really uphold, quite the jump here in all the AP poll rankings. And some of the big games to talk about what took place. First, we could talk about USC and how they fell to Penn State, which was one of my picks, by the way. And Penn State, the +4 cover, they wind up winning the whole damn thing in overtime. And Lincoln Riley continues to not be able to seem to pull off a victory in against big top ranked teams. But also, while we're talking about that, you can thank once again the rushing game as I expected. You could thank once again USC not completing plays when they needed to, especially on offense, being pressured the whole game and just falling short of a big win in their conference. Right now, that pulls them at 3-3 with 3 conference losses as soon as they joined the Big Ten, and yeah, this was USC's game to win, but Penn State winds up rallying back and gets the big victory as I expected them to do. And if we want to refer to my picks for college football this week, not what we expected or not what we wanted to see. And this is an account too. There's one moment. Let me just pull up these picks. Yeah. With Penn State at +4, sealing the victory, outright winning the game in the overtime. We had Kansas State and Colorado, where I picked Colorado to have to have the spread one with plus 3.5. They just win by 4, Kansas State, with Colorado almost pulling off the comeback. Then Oklahoma State and Texas being outright ugly for Oklahoma, and Texas has everything with Quinn Ewers. The plus 14.5 wasn't even close. So your boy only went 1-2 this week in college football. And he he goes 1-2 in the NFL. I wound up winning my first parlay of the season in week 6 for myself, but my picks just did not cut it this week, huh? Disappointing. Whatever. But yeah, just to hold on back with USC, obviously they needed to make a statement joining the Big Ten. And yeah, with 3 conference losses, not ideal whatsoever. So yeah. Anyways, going with also the Red River Classic, Red River Rivalry, and what was a thriller last year wound up being the complete opposite with the return of Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers returns at 20 for 29, 199 yards and a touchdown despite throwing an interception. And early after that, it was all Longhorns. Oklahoma didn't have a chance whatsoever. And both the running game that's been very impressive for Texas is run all over Oklahoma. They just had no shot whatsoever. It was cool to see both of them now actually SEC members actually in the same conference go head to head, but you got nothing to show for it. Just continues to have Texas stay as a dominant team, continues to stay at the number 1 spot, and it kicks out Oklahoma in the rankings, and probably killing their chance to win the SEC. So Texas, big win for them, and Quinn Ewers look great, and now they stay undefeated at 6-0. Now, this game with Alabama and South Carolina, right? Oh man, I really at points wanted to see if South Carolina could pull this win off, which would have given Alabama their second conference loss. And ultimately the spread was minus 19.5, and that easily was blown with South Carolina at home, sorry, on the road, pressuring Alabama all game long. Um and at one point even taking the lead in the 4th quarter, but Jalen Milroe probably hurts his chance of winning a Heisman, not playing well, um, throwing 2 picks and going 16 for 23 with 209 yards. No running game whatsoever from Bama. And then Texas, I mean, sorry, South Carolina, the other USC, made a push. You gotta give them a lot of credit offensively trying to hold it on, but they just ran out of time and gave enough time for Bama to close the deal and seal the comeback. And yeah, that was not looking good at points. And now that causes Alabama to, as I mentioned, go down a few spots in the rankings. Are now ranked 7th in the nation. 7th, as they have another big important game against Texas this upcoming Saturday on the road. But you wonder if momentum is being killed. Wasn't pretty. Still have a chance at the winning the SEC, but that was not pretty whatsoever. Almost losing to South Carolina. But give credit to the Gamecocks and what they pulled off. Now, Oregon and Ohio State was arguably the best game of the season, an absolute classic, even if it ends with Will Howard's boneheaded decision to slide in field goal range as time expires, not having enough time to at least make a play to go out of bounds to get him in the field goal range to seal the victory. But yeah, that wound up costing Ohio State the game. But that wasn't the only thing. If you saw throughout, you just saw Oregon with the momentum they were having. Finally, things are clicking for a team that I expect to win the national championship, and they stay undefeated with this game, and it's a big conference victory for them and gives Ohio State their first conference loss. But yeah, it was back and forth, and it was just a matter of a war of attrition, and it wound up being the Ducks to hold off to create the win. With Dylan Gabriel continuing to at least show his potential in being a professional in the NFL, But Ohio State, tough loss for them. While Oregon now moves up in the rankings with this at now their second team in the nation going up against Purdue, who has been struggling all season. And a short week for them, you expect Oregon to honestly take care of Purdue and move forward and continue their hopes to either win the Big Ten or make a push for the college football playoff. Nice classic game. Who knows how different we would all feel if they were able to hit the long field goal, Ohio State, but ultimately they didn't even get a shot to do so. So big win for the Ducks. A lot of credit there. Ultimately, give praise to the offense for putting in the right position there. And then we had LSU and in overtime that was a thing of note. Ashton Jeanty making a name for himself in Boise State with a big win over Ohio. And we also had this with Colorado playing Kansas State. And the big thing to note is Travis Hunter's shoulder injury. And though at this time of the recording, we do not have a diagnosis of what's going on, and Dion said in the press conference he did not have an update for the young man. But I will say in this game, at least, you could give credit to Shedeur Sanders, who clearly was shorthanded, but still making big plays at the end of the game, throwing over 330 yards. And Kansas State is a ranked team, and looked pretty good there, especially defensively. But they were able to create weaknesses. But again, the big thing to give credit to is at least the attrition and Shador not giving up and doing his best to lead to victory. But that only can add to his stock moving forward. But a tough loss for Colorado to take, especially now they are 4-2 moving forward, and 2-1 in Big Ten play. But yeah, this was a very entertaining game in itself as well. But the big thing here is to see where Colorado goes and how serious the Travis Hunter injury is. But yeah, that's what I have for today with the college football. I have a lot more work to get to on the other pods. So week 8 is going to be very exciting. Tough week with the picks, but we'll move forward with another week of college football a week from today as we will recap week 8 of the college football season a week from today with big games that of note off just to see the slate really quick. One thing to really pay attention to also, and not to mention Army and Army and Navy, 23 and 25 in the nation now, with their schedule looking favorable to them. And when we do our conference championship plays, we'll see if the American Conference will be an Army and Navy game. That'll be interesting to see. But I'll be paying attention to them this upcoming college football weekend. We have Georgia Tech and and Notre Dame. That might be a game of note to pay attention to. Alabama and Tennessee, absolutely for sure. A hot Tennessee team, even though they fell down this week. But and see what a struggling Alabama in these last 2 games, what they can do. We'll see in Michigan and Illinois if Michigan can beat another ranked opponent to help them salvage what's left of the season, especially on the road. That'll be important. But obviously the other big one is on Saturday night, Georgia and Texas, 7:30. At this moment, the spread is -3.5 for Texas at home against the Bulldogs. You do not want to miss that. We will definitely be talking about that during our picks. But can't wait for what's ahead for college football. Again, also check out our instant reaction to game 1 of the NLCS. We will be here all week and next week reacting to every single ALCS and NLCS game. And then we will also be doing our NFL recap. Week 6 of the NFL is in the books, and we will be recapping that and talk about the big games there. So, busy week ahead. Obviously, a lot of baseball, a lot of football, tweet caps, and all that other stuff in between. But I just want to say thank you for listening. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. Check out the other content we have going on, and let's have a good week, everybody. Peace.